Hey everyone, welcome to Learn Chinese Now. I'm Jared. This is my co-host Ben, and today we have the great Letty with us. Now, she has a list of questions and comments that they found on the channel, Learn Chinese Now. Ben and I have not seen these, and so this is us answering your questions and listening to your comments.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay,
especially
I see her smiling already. Again, I don't know these. I haven't seen them yet. Neither has Ben. So, okay, lay it on us.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I don't know. We're never ready, but let's try.
Okay, let's hit it. Okay, the first one to Bang.
Oh.
Yeah, here we go. In the modern age, is there no martial arts masters who are comparable to the masters of the past?
Oh, well.
Martial arts.
Yeah, this is like a controversial topic, and certainly there are people in the martial arts who are really good in traditional martial arts. Like I've trained with many people in the past who, when you feel their power hit you, it is like, whoa, like I've just been hit with a sledgehammer, right? Like even some people who do like Tai Chi or stuff that you wouldn't even think, some people say like, oh yeah, Tai Chi is lost or whatever. But, like Feng Zhiqiang, his student who came to the UK, Feng Zhiqiang was, I think I'm saying it right with the right tones, but he was one of the Chen lineage Tai Chi guys in China, and the lineage holder. He's passed away now, but one of his students came to the UK, and I went to his seminar in the past, and he was like, wow, like really powerful. You could hear your bones cracking when he was like doing stuff to you. Like, I was like, oh man, is this even like? I think you're going a bit far. He was pretty violent, actually, that guy. But yeah, there's definitely people now who are very proficient at martial arts, at all martial arts. Internal martial arts is kind of my like area of like, that I like, right? 内家拳. But it is true that in the past, there were people, by the records of what's written down, of what people used to be able to do, there were people who were apparently way more powerful than today, unless you just say that it's the imagination of people throughout history. But if you look at the 1920s, 1930s, that was kind of like a final golden age of martial arts, especially internal martial arts around Beijing. Many of the masters then were way more powerful than the people now, and many of them died taking it with them, kind of thing. There's a quote from like Bruce Francis's teacher, this old Taoist guy in Beijing, who said that there were like around 200 people at that time in Beijing who really had 高功夫, they really had it, like 八卦掌, 形意拳, 太极拳, white crane, a few of these other styles. And then there's also a book called 逝去的武林, which it's a little controversial because some people say that this guy didn't actually train with this master, but it was written by a guy, it was delivered orally to this student by someone who trained with this supposedly trained with this 形意 master in like the 1930s, 40s. And then after the communists took over China, he kind of went underground and didn't publicly do any martial arts anymore. But he told the whole story to this guy, and then the guy wrote it down into a book after he died in like 2004 or something. I can't remember exactly when. But, what he describes masters being able to do in the book is like far more than what they can do now. Hence the lost martial world, right? Or the dead martial world.
So I actually have a story from China in the 90s when I was in China. I know I'm kind of dating myself here, but I met this guy at a party, and he was telling me about, he practiced some sort of internal martial arts that it was like once a month, him and these other people who would practice various forms of martial arts would gather together and they would spar. And each one had a different supernormal ability. His supernormal ability was that he could throw people like multiple floors into the sky. And
you met that guy?
I met this guy.
And he told you?
That's what he told me.
Oh.
I met him through some friends. And my friend said, yeah, we've known him since he was a kid. We knew that he went off into the mountains and trained with this guy. And so he's telling me about this. And I'm like, I have to be at one of these. I have to go. And he said, absolutely not. No way. They change locations each time. And he said that only other people with these great abilities could handle that, right? Because if you throw a normal person like 3 stories high into the air and they fall down, that's it's kind of game
internal
over at that
damage.
point. Very much internal damage. But like if that guy can kind of float or whatever,
Or he has the 铁砂掌.
Something like that. He can
铁布衫.
Yeah, he can block it or whatever. And this guy was also telling me about this lake. He said, if you want to see something, and I never went because it was way too far away, but he told me there's this lake that it's like the 3rd of every month at 3 a.m. or something like that. You can see people practicing walking on water.
轻功.
He said, like, you have to go, he like kind of told me, like, yeah, hide behind this rock. And like this master comes out and teaches them how to do that.
Cool.
So these are all stories. It might be totally made up, but that's what he told me. And the interesting thing was, so this was in the 90s, and he was telling me, like, he's like, but you want to know who we all really like? Mike Tyson. He said, we love watching Mike Tyson. They were like, we could easily defeat him, but we love watching Mike Tyson. He's got something. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like as an American, I was like, okay, yeah. We got, we have Mike Tyson. That's great.
But these people won't be able to show off to the world, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're not actively telling people we can do this, are they? They're not like.
Well, he actively told me, but he wasn't. I think it was more
showing off.
I think, well, maybe he was showing off because, I was the only American there. And, I'd been interested in martial arts, and I was just, because my friends knew that, and I was asking, and they said, oh, you need to meet this guy. Okay. This guy's been doing this stuff. And then he was telling me all this stuff. And I part of me wanted to just like follow him one night.
Yeah.
like see if this is true or not. See if this is actually happening.
Quite a lot of stories like this, actually. Because especially date back a few decades ago in China, secret group of people with these superpower abilities.
So I heard another story from a friend, a different friend, not that he himself had, but one time he was out in the countryside. This big lamp pole fell on somebody, and it was like one of the big steel ones. Okay. Right, like in China. So it was incredibly heavy. And because my friend made movies, he was a cinematographer. So he was out there. He wasn't filming this, but he was just way out in the country because they had something to film out there. And he saw this fall on this guy. This guy's trapped under this thing. All these people come out, try and lift it up. And he said, just out of kind of nowhere, this guy, just normal looking guy, not big, not strong, just normal looking guy, walks by, sees it, walks over, picks the whole thing up, puts it, and then just walks away. Nobody knew who that guy was. He was like not a local, like nobody had any idea, and he just left. And everybody was just in shock.
Shocked, yes, definitely.
We had like a bunch of people and we couldn't pick this up.
And the people always like, they don't leave any name. They're not trying to be famous or something.
Right. Yeah. This guy was just, according to Taoist stories, right? He would probably just a Taoist cultivator happen to be walking by and goes, oh, that guy's in trouble. Let me just move that for him. All right, see you later.
And
I guess that was a while ago.
The big thing that a lot of people say is like, why doesn't someone just go to the UFC and just win it, with Chinese martial arts? And like, that's what we'd all love to see, right?
Right.
Validate Chinese kung fu, but that's not. It's not how they roll, these guys. And
assuming this is true for whatever.
Assuming it's true,
whatever reason, they absolutely do not let other people see that.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's the mysticism behind it, or they lose their power if they do it, or they're afraid they'll lose their power or something like that. And so we can't validate it. So it's just stories.
It's just stories. It's
believe it, don't believe it. It's a fun story nonetheless.
But I have personally sparred with people of both types, right? People who do like boxing and external things, and people who do internal martial arts. And the impression I get is that the internal martial arts are so powerful. That's the impression I get. Like, how come someone doesn't go to the UFC and just win it with...
Is it just like a simple movement?
Exactly. I was thinking that too.
You feel the internal, when someone hits you, it like goes right through you. It's like,
I see. Your soul goes out for a little bit, looks down at you, and then comes back in. It's like, what was that?
Yeah, it really does.
Maybe that's the reason. If like people, especially training of boxing, these people learn this kind of kung fu, martial arts, and then they went to the contest and then win. Then
punching people's souls out of their body. We can't have that.
Yes. Maybe that's the reason. One of the reasons.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it one day. I don't know. It's a shame. A lot of these fake masters have really done, like, Xu Xiaodong, who's challenged a lot of the fake masters.
Ones, and then the whole thing seems fake.
The whole thing seems fake. So it's a shame. It would be nice if someone sometime used traditional martial arts and won a competition.
But apparently they can't do that.
Apparently.
Or maybe not. Who knows?
I still believe.
Maybe we'll see
I still
somebody
believe.
fly into the octagon and you know, do some magical thing and then fly away and everyone's like, oh gosh, what was that?
We should move on because this was just one question.
Yeah, so the answer is we don't know, right? Is there no martial arts masters who are comparable to the masters of the past? We don't know. Maybe they're living.
Maybe secretly.
Secretly.
At this meetup, this once a month meetup that you're talking about.
That's right. I smell an investigative, right? We need to go somewhere and go to China and like track these people down.
Maybe someday, yeah.
That is it for today. If you guys enjoyed this format, please leave your comments below. If you have any questions or other comments you would like to have us read, please also leave those in the comments. Check out Letty's channel. We will put a link below. It's in Chinese, so whether you know how to speak Chinese or you want to learn how to speak Chinese, she is a good person to watch. And also, check out our links to getting a reduced price on Shenyuan tickets. I am one of the MCs for Shenyuan Performing Arts, and we have a very special code below that waives the booking fee. All right, that's it for today. 再见.
再见.
再见